Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Prancing Pony Podcast Plays, and welcome while I figure out why that's still going. All right, I got to fix that. And bring the chat back up. Where'd the chat go? Chat, where are you? There you are. All right. Well, welcome. Happy holidays. Hopefully you all are enjoying the build up to Christmas here in a week, or a little more than a week. And I guess it's 12 days, actually. My Christmas is coming in a week because it's the Moot, right? So we've got the Moot coming up next Thursday through Sunday. Hopefully, many of you will be joining us in person. Those of you who can't will be joining us online as we welcome Christopher Gilson, Brett Devereaux, and Sean Marchese as our keynote talks, and a whole bunch of amazing presentations coming down the line. So, yes, Katie, I do have the Lord of the Rings Christmas sweater on. I'll probably wear it exclusively for the next few streams, since we've got today, Tuesday, then we got the Moot, and then Tuesday the 23rd. So those 3 sessions, I'll probably go ahead and try to look as festive as I can. And yes, that's the fellowship walking across the paths of Eregion, I believe. So, though I'm not so sure I'm nuts about having the actual text of the One Ring on my sweatshirts, on my sweater. How's everybody doing today? I'm looking back through the chat, by the way. I agree. The music does not get enough credit. We love it. It was one of those things where, clearly it was a fate thing, just finding it, because when we first started the show, I dug and dug and dug through one of these royalty-free music websites where you pay for the music that includes the rights to use it. And it took hours. And I finally found this one album that had like 3 songs on it that I wanted to use. And, it's just fantastic. So took a while, but it's good. Good. Well, we've got a couple more sessions where we're going to be with Hilbern the River Hobbit before we move on to do something fun and different after the holidays. I'm going to jump into building that Balrog Gandalf book nook. And yeah, they did the Philology Fair music. They did almost everything. I think we did add some new pieces for, I think, the North Wing and a couple others that we ended up buying music for later, like interview stuff. But all the stingers and things like the Philology Fair, that's also from that original royalty-free site, which sadly no longer exists. They went under. So a few years ago, actually. 25. My goodness, 35. You people, how do you live with that? How do you live with that? Yeah, it's I sometimes complain about living here in California because there's too many people. It's too crowded. It's way too expensive. And then I realize that it's cold when it's 52. So electronic devices would have none of it today. I have had those days. I have had those days. Well, as usual, Tolkien questions, podcast questions, anything like that that you might have for me before we jump into LotRO today. Just sitting here waiting. I would sing a Christmas carol if I could sing. Oh, my lights are going crazy. Oh, I've got them on a different setting, so they're cycling through all of them instead of just the one that I usually use. Give them a moment, for pity's sake. Of course. Well, there is the lag. I mean, I asked the question, and it's going to take 30 seconds before you hear the question. I'm finding those lights almost distracting. I might have to get up and change those settings. Yeah. Yule fearing. I didn't know. Oh, festing. I'm like, fearing. Is that a new tradition that I didn't know about? Is that something? Um, Honestly, I've not. The closest I've had to any sort of Yule festing was last week going to I guess it was a Yule party, was going to Serpentine Cider for an actual party celebrating. But if you mean Yule festing in game, no, I haven't done any yet. I might. That's one that I've taken part in before. I might do that again. I thought you meant real, actual. Um, in real life, IRL Yule festing, and that was a lot of fun. Oh man, I used to hate it when we had power outages. I was a regional manager for a company that had like 25, 30 stores in California, and I was the backup if the store manager wasn't around. I was the backup if if the alarm went off. And whenever there was a power outage, I could guarantee you that when it came back on, we'd end up one of the stores would get a false alarm, and it would call the police, and it would call the fire department, and then I'd get a call. I hated that. Yeah. Yule Theater for the Easter. Pictures of you doing the costume contest. Ah, yes. There's a video. I don't know if I remember taking pictures. Might have to humiliate. I mean, um, brag about your costume. Um, I of course did not do any costumes. That's not an option. Um, I could dress as a podcaster. That's about it. Um, yeah. Oh, that's right. The professional. Yeah, there was a professional photographer. I'd forgotten about that because he got pictures of me doing the Father Christmas letters reading. Charlie Brown Christmas is definitely right up there. Definitely right up there. For me, there's probably a couple Christmas albums that I need to listen to. Um, I don't know which ones though this year. I'll have to see. Ah, you have a video of me doing the reading. Wonderful. That's even worse. But that's a good question. Yeah. One thing you have to do in order to be in the holiday spirit. It's definitely going to be music, or I will say watching A Christmas Story is also one of those things. I know for other folks it's Elf, but and I enjoy that, but for me it's A Christmas Story. A very amateur Tolkien scholar. Yeah. No, I encouraged you, Katie, to do a costume contest, and I encouraged others to encourage you. That's all. Just that. Made. It make you do anything. It's not Christmas till Hans Gruber falls to the Nakatomi Plaza Tower. That's correct. That is a classic. That is a Christmas film. I don't care what anybody tells you. That's a Christmas movie. A bird of undetermined type. Yeah, I think, the moot has been sort of so front of mind. I haven't really gotten into the holiday spirit yet. I have gotten a few of the gifts that I've needed to. I still need to get a couple more. In fact, I probably need to place some orders today since I'm going to be gone most of this coming week. If I don't write it down, it never happens. So I'm writing it down. Okay. Thanks for your patience while I jotted down something on my task list. Gonna get tickets to see the extended edition. I want to so badly. I really do. There are a couple weekends in there that are going to be really hard for me to go. So I'm not sure, but I'm working on it. And if I can, I'll get tickets this weekend. Have I seen a Christmas Story sequel? I have not. The mood attendees are your real Christmas gift. No. Of course you are. I'm so glad everybody's going to be there. It's going to be great. Looking forward to seeing everybody. Um, Go spend time with my smile. I thought they already had their Christmas party. I'm assuming there's nothing else for me to do with them until January. Yeah, this is a Middle Earth sweater hassle. Here, I'll just stand up. It's got the fellowship. It's got the leaves from Lorien. It's got the script from the One Ring in like gold thread. So, yep. Yeah. Yeah, it is sort of the ugly Christmas sweater concept, but with Lord of the Rings. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. I thought you meant, yeah. I understand they're going to. I need to find out which one so I can get the tickets, unless they've already bought tickets. I have no idea because I haven't heard from them. But yeah, the challenge is going to be I've got a couple of projects in January that are going to make that tough. Um, I think the weekend of the 24th is the one that's going to be the hardest for me. Might not be able to make it, but we will see. We will see. I certainly would like to. Seeing them on the big screen is so good. I remember when Return of the King was coming out in 2003, there was a movie theater that the day before, 2 days before it debuted, they showed the Fellowship of the Ring. The day before, they showed the Two Towers. So then you could come back and watch Return of the King on its opening night. And then I also went and saw them when they re-released the 4K master, like right around the time of the Blu-ray release, where Peter Jackson also does a little introduction. That was a great experience. That was an all-day marathon. I think I drove all the way up to Orange, which is about 30, 40 minutes north of me, and went and watched all three movies. I think I had to be there at 10 a.m. and it was done at like midnight because of the breaks they take for meals. It was a very long time to spend in a theater, and I didn't know anybody. I was totally by myself. Yeah, it was wild. Evil is resting on my shoulders. It always does. It always does. Ashnaz Durbatuluk. Ashnaz Grimbatuk. Yeah. Um, I will not utter that language here. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into the game then. As you have questions, please feel free to post them in the chat. I will do my best to catch them. If I don't, Katie will catch them and throw them in our private chat that's a little closer to my screen because I've got that up on a phone over here. Because once I put you over here, it's a little trickier. So let's go ahead and do that though. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the stream chat because, well, you won't be able to see each other from Twitch and YouTube. So you'll be able to catch each other on the platform that you're on, of course. All right. Now we just need to add the other camera. Streamer X. There we go. Turn that on and swap it out. And now my head is actual size. I like that much better anyway. Yes, I am, Jeremiah, super excited about that. The original print of Star Wars, which I went and saw as a 9-year-old at a drive-in movie theater on the day it debuted because it was my birthday. I am excited. Han shot first. Han should always shoot first. We don't get to see Jabba. That's going to be great. Definitely glad to have you back, Katie. Really grateful. I mean, like Nate said, I did catch a drop pretty quickly, but other than that, it was rough. Most memorable death in LotRO hassle. I don't know. Probably falling from some insane height. That's usually what it is. I've had some where I've been down to like 5% or less of my hit points and survived. But yeah, it's tricky. You weren't born yet. I am old. All right. So when we last left the story, we were in Thror's Coombe. We had traveled up in here, and we were all the way up here in Nars Peak. Okay, so yeah, probably the Swan Drive off Clegor. So we are still working on the epic here. I've got some horses that I got from the shop that are account wide. All right, so let's go talk to Frithgeir and keep moving with this series of instances. Finish this part because obviously I'm way behind, or kind of ahead of myself at level 72. I'm sorry he upset you. Nar means no harm. Frithgeir listens as you recount Coronir's request to know of Nar's recent activities. His brow creases in thought, and he is silent for a moment. When he speaks again, his words come slowly, as if he is unsure they will be of help. A few days before Wadu the Dunlending came to Zudragund, I noticed Nar spending a great deal of time looking through some of the bookshelves for something. I thought it odd, because he generally takes little interest in the books and records here, but he did not speak of it, and I did not ask what drove his examination. I can tell you which section of shelves it was, but there are a lot of books to go through. I do not know if that will be of any assistance, but you are welcome to seek a common thread if it may be of help to you and your friends. Look at the shelves to the southeast of here, around the illuminated statue. All right, catching up on chat real quick. Yeah. 45. I know, aren't they? Yeah, it's very real. So the southeast of here, so that's going to be this direction, right? There we go. Cluttered bookshelves. You found some torn pages, which seem to have undergone a great deal of use. The words are very large, and every page is an illustration drawn in a fanciful style. It's a dwarf's kid's book. Carrie was a little dwarf, smaller than you or me, and wherever Carrie went, he took his axe or three. One axe for his left hand, one axe for his right. One axe to carve the roast he ate most every night. It's like the dwarven Dr. Seuss. Now one day the orcs did call, they came right up to the gate. Come on out, they said, we'll have a feast, don't be late. The dwarves knew what... That's a long poem, we're just going to go. So we call him Kari or Cure. It's a cute book, but we're not going to, All right. You found a parchment, yellowed and old, tucked away between the covers of a thin book, and apparently forgotten. This is important. Hail, Thrain, king under the mountain. Preparations for leaving the Coombe are well underway, and it will not be long before our people are ready to depart for the Blue Mountains. The great wheels in the depth will turn without them. I wonder for how long. I am writing this letter to express my concern about Nar. You know as well as anyone the things he has seen, and his service to your father cannot be questioned. He deserves much better than he has gotten. He seems not even to see me these days, though I must endure the retelling of my own exploits 2, 4, or a dozen years in the past. It makes me sad to think of it now, and his excitement in each recounting the previous one forgotten saddens me all the more. This is why I must ask your permission to remain when the others go. Nar will not go to the Blue Mountains, and I wish to stay here to look out for him. My son, too, wishes to stay. He is young and knows nothing of our real home. This to him is no exile, but the Blue Mountains would be. I do not want to deprive Frithgeir of the only home he has known. I will do whatever you command, of course, but this is my desire, if it be your wish to grant it. Now that one's important. It tells us a lot more about what's going on with Nar. A slim book, Herbs and Plant Life of the Coombe, is resting atop several others as if it had been recently removed and carelessly returned to a shelf. It is my hope that these musings on the great variety of plant life found within the Coombe will be of help to those who, by want or need, find themselves uncertain of a herb's utility or a vegetable's properties. It is clear that such knowledge is fading in my people. Thror has commanded the opening of a new wing in the mines beneath Zudragund, but my own studies have been of a necessity self-directed. I do not complain. The gems they have taken from the old wings stir my heart as much as they do any of my fellows, but there is much to be learned from the green as there is from the stone. So then he goes on, it's notes on various plants. Obviously, we've been talking about the stuff that made the poultice. You find there the sweet smell will guide you to find patches of Hulul Haraz growing on the grassy slopes, as we found in that quest earlier. It's called Sweet Water. The Dunlendings believe the smell to drive away evil beings. And then you create this strange smelling brew that provides clarity of thought and heightened reasoning. Is that... No, I'm not going to make modern pharmaceutical jokes. Anyway, it's very interesting. It does seem that its effectiveness dulls with repeated use. The brew should not be overused. Okay, so now we go back and talk to Nar. I'm just catching up. Herbs. That's right, herbs.
You have brought the gemstones?
Good.
Good. These will do very nicely.
He seems not to realize that you have brought no gemstones. This is going about as well as you expected. Coronir, he's over here, right? Is that Coronir? I don't remember. Yeah. His words remain as cloudy as ever.
Was worth trying.
Though it has not borne fruit. You should go to Candaith at the campsite of the Great Company, in the grove of trees east of the Uchluth village of Lanuch, and tell him that we are no closer to learning why Nar spoke of the paths of the dead. Candaith is a master of lore and may have thought of something. We are going to port to him since that is a rather long walk. I'm getting chastised.
The mystery of Nar's knowledge must remain unsolved for a time yet.
You have spoken with the dwarf Nar again to no avail. I see. Will he not tell us how he knows of the words of Elrond? Will he not tell us how he knows of the paths of the dead? It seems this mystery must remain unsolved for a time yet. Do you know the story of the Oathbreakers and the paths of the dead? Perhaps a recounting of that tale is in order, and you will be more familiar with the puzzle set before us. Do you wish to hear it? Yes, I do.
I will tell you the tale of the Oathbreakers.
After the destruction of Numenor in the Second Age, Elendil and his sons came to Middle-earth and knew they had to start anew or perish. And so the kingdoms of Arnor and Gondor were founded, Arnor in the north and Gondor in the south. At the hill of Erech, in the kingdom of Gondor, Isildur set a great black stone that was brought out of Numenor before its downfall. It is said the stone stands there still, unchanged, even as it was in the latter years of the Second Age. That is where and when our story begins. Oh, yeah. I don't want to do the shortened account. Let's do the session play. And again, a reminder for those of you who have not been here for a session play, it enables you to play as somebody not you, to live another moment in Middle-earth history, to play as Sam accompanying Frodo up the slopes of Mount Doom, or to play, in this case, a soldier of Gondor, where Isildur receives the oath from the men of the mountains.
In the Second Age of Middle-earth, Isildur called the men of the mountains to the hill of Erech to discuss their loyalties.
Okay, what skills do I have? I have a Sword of Gondor, so I'm a champion of some kind, perhaps. Sword Sweep, so that's for area of effect. Then I have a Shield Bash, a Sword Strike that can't be used. Yeah, it's a nice big damage one, but big cooldown, and then a heal. So I'm going to drop the heal up here, so it's right there. I'm going to mark that separate so I don't accidentally hit it when I don't want to. All right. Look at where we're at, by the way. Yeah, we're going to be up in the mountains near Erech, near the Morthond Vale. This is the place, Yarvund, the hill of Erech. You stayed behind at the encampment when our lord was last here, but I was in the party that wrestled the stone to the summit. Several days of toil, true, but I can think of no better way to mark the escape of Numenor's sons from the deluge. Seeing the forest we came through from this height gives me a greater appreciation for its beauty, and I forgive its branches the many scratches we sustained. This new kingdom of Gondor is a beautiful land indeed. May it stand evermore. This way, Yarvund. Isildur has gone ahead, and we must not let our lord wait on our arrival. I love this. To the summit, Yarvund.
The kingdoms of Arnor and Gondor were still in their infancy. Isildur knew he would need allies if Gondor was to flourish.
There were people in this land before we escaped to these shores. Isildur wishes to gain their trust and their loyalty. Yeah, that's the problem, is unfinished tales. They can't do long may it thrive. There he is, Yarvund. Speak with him while I catch my breath a moment. Take a look, folks. An iconic moment from the story. The Stone of Erech. That's actually even bigger. That's even bigger than it would have been. Because, of course, it's said to be man high. This is obviously like 2.5 times man high. But the problem with man high is we don't know if that means it's man high. No, I think it's twice the height of a man. So do they mean twice the height of a man total, or I don't remember the description. But it's actually too big here. But that's okay. That's okay. The problem is Tolkien never says whether the height is measured from the ground, that is, it's half the circle, half the sphere, or whether it's the diameter of the sphere. Are we talking diameter or radius here? But take a look. This is where we are. Morthon Vale. There's the White Mountains up there. Going all the way down that way would lead to the sea. All right, let's talk to Isildur. Actually, I think the sea is that way. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can tell. Okay. Lord. Yarvund, is it? Yes, I thought so. Isildur looks about expansively, admiring the view from the summit. This has been a year of toil, Yarvund. But in moments like this, breathing the clean air and looking out over the forest of this Middle-earth, I can almost believe that this is home.
Isildur called the men of the White
I love
Mountains.
this badge here. The white tree and the crescent moon, because, of course, Isil, that's the moon. Do you think they will come, Yarvund? We have peace for now. But if Sauron returns, we will need allies. We need the allegiance of the men of the mountain. Will they grant it? Look for them from the north slope of the hill, Yarvund.
At last they approached, a small group of men and their king.
Ah, there they are. You are the son of Elendil the Tall? You are the one called Isildur? I am. I am Riok. I am the king of the mountain. Why have you called us to this place? The kingdom of Gondor is young, but already you have seen sign of its strength. From over the sea we have come, bringing with us majesty undreamed of in Middle-earth. We desire your friendship. Gondor can provide you with great stores of knowledge and power. Understand this, Isildur, son of Elendil. When my sworn men were young, traders told them tales of the great land beyond the sea. Now the men of that place have sprung forth, as if from legend. They erect mighty towers and great cities. They perform wonders. My lord Isildur does not ask you for your reverence. He asks for your sword arms. Be still, Urkheneb. The forces of Sauron are scattered and leaderless, but it has been so before. Will you swear an oath to fight against him, should he return? I will swear it on this very stone, this sign of the might of Numenor's sons. On this stone, I swear that I and my people will stand with you and fight against Sauron, should he return.
It was done. The allegiance of the men of the mountains was secured.
King Ryok has led us for these many years. His word is hewn from stone like that of the mountain itself, with roots as deep. Let Sauron show himself again at his peril. He would dare it not when confronted with we men of the mountain and you, the sons of Numenor, and now Gondor. There is a great deal we can learn from you and from the kingdom of Gondor. We are now as brothers, are we not? The bond of our oath will tie us together, and let our shared enemies tremble. Gondor and the mountain. At this moment, there are none in this land more proud than I, King Ryok of the mountain. There is so much our people can learn from each other, and by sharing our strength, we will be the stronger for it. Your Lord Isildur was wise to reach out to us, and we are honored to have been called to this place. Should Sauron return, he will face our combined might and be fearful. What a day this has been, Yavund. We must learn from Isildur's example. Do not undervalue the worth of our alliances. It would be easy to look upon the wonders of Gondor, even this early in its life, and think we can conquer any enemy. But Sauron is conniving, and if he does somehow return as Isildur fears, we will be glad for the strong warriors of the mountain. Love this instance.
The years passed, and the shadow grew again in Middle-earth. No word came from Garth Lothar, fort of Sindondor. Isildur gathered a force of men to investigate.
Beriadar, this is terrible. Look at what has happened to Garth Lothar. This is the reason we have heard not from the defenders. They are slain and its fort taken. How could such evil have come to Gondor without our knowledge? Isildur, what do we do? You know what we must do, Doorway. We will fight our way inside and reclaim this fort for Gondor. Aye, for Gondor. This is the work of orcs, Beriadar. You and Doorway come with me. We will fight our way into the fort, while the rest of our band approaches Garth Lothar from the flank. They will rue the day they spilled Gondorian blood on our soil. Beriadar, Doorway, this way. You others circle the fort and approach from the flank. The orcs must have assembled these war machines in the shadow of the cliffs. The defenders sealed the doors, and the orcs settled in for a long siege. But this was not a long siege. Prepare yourselves! I seem to remember, dying in this one multiple times. I sure hope I can succeed this time. Okay, so that extra damage one is pretty powerful, but yeah, the 45-second cooldown, I have to be careful when to use it. This way, while we have surprise on our side. Up the causeway. Alan's thoughts on this: something fierce being the meeting the stone in this instance. We'll have to talk about it if I survive. And I will. I'll pull up the text from the actual stone moment, right? How often can I do the heal? 10 seconds. Okay. So I need to remember I can actually kind of spam the heal. I haven't needed it yet, but if this is the one I think it is where I died a lot, I'll need it. Yeah, it is too big, Jeremiah. Because I think it's man high, and the question is whether it's man high 6 feet in diameter or man high 6 foot in radius. Or even Numenorian man high, so 7 foot. I'll pull up the text because I did some studies on how much that would weigh, things like that. Because of course I did. These orcs are different than those others we have seen this year, Beriadar. Well, there's a lot of orcs over there. Something drives them. Pretty much need most of a ship. It weighs a lot. And it takes up a lot of space, especially if it's man-high sticking out of the ground. Especially if it's man-high Numenorian sticking out of the ground. Then you're talking about a stone that's like, 14, 15 feet in diameter. That's a sphere. That's huge. And that's going to be, I'll have to look up the numbers, but I did the numbers on it. I actually did the math. Because, of course, I did. What sorrow has taken this place? We will scrub it from the walls and slay every orc. Oh, the Smasher of Garth Lotheg. A troll! Whoa, hello there. No, it's made of stone. It's not. It's definitely made of stone. It's described as that. And I even did the math on different kinds of stone, but unless it's made of pumice, it's going to be exceedingly heavy. All right. Well, I haven't died yet. The drums are getting louder. Ready yourselves, friends. I love the heat waves here. All right. Oh, man, there's 5 of them. This is bad. Still more. Okay. And they keep coming. The hits keep coming. Let's take one out with the super hit. There we go. Yeah, this was where I started running into trouble. Because even with the heal, but I was probably not using my heal enough. When I first did this, I was my captain, and I was tougher than that. The ranks thin. Press onward, soldiers of Gondor. Oh, another troll. That's a lot of them. Can we not draw aggro on all of them yet? We've come too late to save these people, but we will make these orcs pay for every one. This is the one where I died. Yeah. The deluge comes. Their waves will crash and die upon the rocks of Gondor. Yeah, I don't think I ever made it past this battle. But I'll try. I do like how they're trying to be good sports about it and not coming all at once. That's nice. Basically, try to keep topped up. Okay. I'm sorry, Katie, I'm not able to pay much attention to the chat right now. This is one of those moments where it's just a little too much. Okay, who's next? Okay. That's what the problem was. It's the dang troll. Just be patient. Keep spamming the heal every time it comes up. And then use the Destroy Foes of Gondor, big one on him. Hopefully that'll... did nothing to him. That did nothing to him. There we go. A little bit more. I'm still alive, but there's a lot more to go, huh? I do appreciate not getting swarmed by all of them at once. Very homecoming of Beorhtnoth, Beorhthelm's son of them, to be fair. I'm going to hold off on using that big one because there's another troll coming. Or there's a pair of them. Holy cow. Yeah, I think this was the moment when I died. We'll see if I can survive this time. Isildur, I could use a little help. Yeah, stun that other guy for a while longer, please. Keep him stunned. Keep spamming the heal. Okay, we almost got rid of one of them. Got rid of one. Come on now. Thank you, Isildur. I appreciate you fighting here. Poor doorway over there. Come on. Gotta get some help. I think we got this. I think I'm not going to die now. That's good. This poor lonely troll now. Get him. There we go. All right. Boom. We are victorious. If anything, this day can be called a victory. Beriadah, look at that idol the orcs have erected. Tell me it is not what it seems to be. Oh, that's exactly what it seems to be.
It was the proof Isildur hoped not
to find. Sauron had returned. We know what this means, Beriadah. It means that these orcs are not leaderless, but were given purpose by Sauron, their master.
And so Isildur summoned the men of the mountains to Erech
To fulfill their oath. We all know how that went. It does not look good, Beriadah. The men of the mountains should have been here by now, but they have sent no word and made no appearance. I have never seen our Lord Isildur like this. It may be best for King Riok if he does not come here at all. Still no sign of them. Our wait has ended, Beredar. King Riok and some of his people now climb to the summit. They are late, but their support against Sauron will excuse them their tardiness.
At last
They approached. I expected you earlier than this, Riok. And why have you brought so few men? We have not come to fight for you. Your strength is nothing before that of Sauron. What are you saying, Riok? You swore an oath to fight against Sauron.
But the men of the mountains refused to fulfill their oath. They had worshipped Sauron in the dark years.
They had worshipped Sauron in the dark years and thought they would be rewarded. You do not frighten us. Sauron will crush your kingdoms, as he has before. I will kill you! Hold. Death is too good for you, Riok. You will be the last king of your people. This curse I lay upon you and all your folk, never to rest until your oath be fulfilled. You will not know the restful sleep of death. You will not know a day without the regret of your broken oath. This war will last for uncounted years, and you will be summoned again before its end. Now go! Leave this place. My words will follow you for your restless eternity.
They could never escape Isildur's curse.
I did not believe the whispers, Beredar. I thought Riok's people would be as good as their word, but it seems the rumors were true. They worshipped Sauron in secret during the dark years, and now he has returned, they cast their lot in with his. Standing here upon Erech, I look from the height and see for a great distance, even into the years ahead. Know this, my words to Riok were not empty. This war will last for countless years, and if Gondor defies Sauron, Riok's people will be summoned once more before the end. They will never know peace until they have fulfilled their oath. This I vow, and let all bear witness to it. Man, that's just... what a story, huh?
Hungering for the rest they shall never have.
What a story. This is what I'm talking about. The writing here is just fantastic. They do such a good job. Though I'm not entirely sold on Isildur like saying the curse is like out of anger, as much as I feel like it's the natural result of breaking a vow. Because he can't withhold death from them, right? This has to be Iluvatar intervening. We'll get to that. We'll take a look at the story itself.
The men of the mountains sought to escape
Their curse, fleeing back to their mountain homes. But no word of man relates what became of them in the years since. It is said a shadow lies now on Erech where they broke their oath, and none now take the Dimholt road that ran through their gates and into their mountain home. The Rohirrim named that peak Dwemerberg, Haunted Mountain, and the passages beneath are known now as the Paths of the Dead. None would take that road, but Elrond bid his sons remember it, and that leads me to worry. I know it lies heavily upon Halbarad's mind, and yet Nar knows something of it as well. Have we been watched without our knowledge? But how can that be? These worries endanger our haste. We must not tarry over long. But I would not forget the pains of those we have encountered along the way. The Ukluth girl who helped us as we came to Lanuk, Nona. She lost her brother Wadu, ambushed by a hostile Dunlending clan, and she must be feeling the grief most keenly. Please go to her and lend whatever comfort you can. I do not want the Grey Company to wear blinders like those Erebrandir wore in his youth before he was befriended by Cyrodiil. We must be aware of the hurts happening around us, and do what we can to help. All right, well, Nona's not my type, but I'll go see if I can help her get over the pain. All right. Too many tattoos.
Do not be concerned for me. I am proud of the warrior you became.
I was lost after the death. That's a man's voice. I was lost after the death of my brother, but that was before I learned of the glory he had attained before his death. Those who slew him were right to do so from hiding. They must have been able to sense that he had become a great warrior and would have bested them. There was a tree Wadu loved, atop a rise by the ox pens west of Lanuk. I left his sword there to honor his memory, but I think he would rather I used it to attain even half the glory with it he did. Go to the tree and bring me the sword. All right, well, I think we can do that, especially because it's just like right over here. Where's the massive disappointed? What? Why is Katie massively disappointed? What did I do now? Ooh, cousin's garden. Am I going to have to kill this guy with it? Oh, it's the father. Suvulk remains downcast, lost in thought. Bring it back to Nona. I know she's a treasure. I was just being funny or weird or something. I was just being me. All right. Hello!
Thank you for
Bringing me my brother's sword, Hilbern.
I will use it in his memory.
It was the sword of Rohan, true, but to my eyes it is no longer the weapon of my people's ancient enemies. It is now my brother's sword, the sword with which he slew the mightiest Gwibber anyone has ever seen, and I will use it in his memory. I have a request, Hilbern. Go to the leader of your company, the man called Halbarat, who has spoken at length with Glyn Brennan, and tell him I will go with your people when they leave Lanuk. It is my desire to avenge the death of my brother on the enemies of the Ukluth and on the wizard Saruman, and our road lies together for a little while. Your man Halbarat is in Lanuk, is he not? According to the ring, yes, he is. He's over here.
Absolutely not.
What is it?
This I must.
The Ukluth woman has a request. No, absolutely not. This I must refuse. It's not open for debate. But there is something urgent, Hilbern. Radenir found something.
Rodney found this letter.
Found this letter stuck into a nearby tree with a knife. It is addressed to the Rangers. And, well, I've left it on that crate there. Read it. Tell me what you think it means. To the Rangers. I am a man of Gondor, a friend of the elves and of all good folk. Call me Ergothorn. I see the danger growing in the east and wish to oppose it. Leu Brennan dispatched a messenger from Tur Morva in Dunland, but the messenger was beset by foes outside Laed Ogo in the Lich Bluff areas and was dragged within. If he yet lives, he will have information from you. I cannot reveal myself to you, but trust that I am a friend. I will contact you again when it is safe to do so.
Is this Ergothorn, friend?
Why will he not show his face?
Show his face.
I do not like this. And yet if he is telling the truth... We need to know, Hilbern. Gather allies you can trust and go to Laed Ogo, far to the south of here, on the right side of the road through the Lich Bluffs. It may be that a messenger from the south is in trouble, and if so, we could use the information he brings. But keep your eyes open. I will not trust Ergothorn without proof. It may be a trap. All right. Let me catch up real quick, because this is the first chance I've had not being in the middle of an instance. In this place, part of the epic or the regional quest. You're talking about the one we just did? That's part of the epic. Yeah. Let's take a look at the map and see where this is. All right, all the way down by the Lich Bluffs. Okay, so we just need to get out of here and hang a right on the road. Let's get our horse going here. Oh, that one. All right, let's get out to the road and hang a right. Okay, you're gonna tempt me with the heavy resource nodes. I'll take that. See, when they're on the road like this, I mean, like, I'm not going to go totally out of my way, but yeah. All right. So I got to go all the way down this road, as you can see, through Nanliglan, all the way down to the Lich Bluffs. Try to find the entrance to a place that is meant for a fellowship quest, but I'm assuming I'll get inspiration. And I will quit a little bit early today. In fact, this may be the last one I do because I want to make sure I have time to look at the actual story of the Stone of Erech. Love the sound of the wind. Such a big world. I mean, just a massive, massive map. Oh, and now we actually have enemies that could be aggro. They're showing up as red dots on my map now. Oh, who's this? Mincham.
Evil stirs in the shadows.
Talk to Gronu. I'm not necessarily going to take these, but if they're right there, like defeat whites, I'll be defeating whites, right? And defeat Kun Anun. Those are the dogs that show up there. Okay, so see, they're all in that area. So yeah. Okay. So we still want to set that as our quest guide. Actually, let's go port directly to Gronu because that'll get us right there. An unfortunate man. A Duvodiad. What a sorry day when I must rely on a Duvodiad to assist me. However, it seems I have no choice. My name is Gronu. I was a member of a hunting party, ambushed by the cursed Dragluth of Dunland.
If you have
Scout the western entrance, defeat Dragluth guards, and silence their sentries. These all are going to be things. Okay, so I probably won't be doing those. Oh, why is he over there? Dang it, I thought that was going to take me all the way down to the Lich Bluffs. Ah. Well, that's annoying. I blew that one. All right, I can go back to Lanuk, right? I got Daggeras. I go to Daggeras. And then from there, I'll port to Lanuk. Well, that was annoying. Sorry about that, folks.
What can I do for you?
I'm just trying to remember if there's any place else closer to the Lich Bluffs. If I clear all and then I select Stable Master. Yeah, I mean the nearest one is Handirium, but that's you can't get there from there. It looks like it's a short distance on the map, but you have to pretty much come all the way back out. So Lanuk it is. All right, Lanuk. But I don't want to go into Lanuk because I'm going to get right back on my horse and go. This time I won't be stupid. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to end up doing those questions or quests. I'll remove them. But I am going to likely defeat Kunanun and Whites because that's what's in the Lich Bluffs, right? I think so, Katie. I'm not sure. I mean, I know he's past this point, right? So we must have. Oh, shocker. Google's AI summary was wrong. Color me surprised. It's much bigger than Skyrim, yeah. I mean, it's huge. Yep, Talmuth Idris, that's where I'm at. With my main. I think I'm just afraid because I know I'm about to start the incredibly never-ending long series of quests in Isengard. Look at the stones here. Cool stuff. Dwarf marker. Not usable mounted. Okay. Well, we're getting pretty close to where I'm supposed to go. So do these whites count as remnants of the past for this quest? They do. Okay. And of course, it's also going to go, a quest item. Okay. I'll come back to Mincham for that. But in the meantime, we're going to kill a bunch of these whites. Okay, but let's get to the entrance of this place. Fourth Maru. Ooh, a rich Kazakhstan deposit. You can't put that in my field of vision and not expect me to go for it. Plus, then I can kill this guy. Ooh, I got a mithril flake out of that one. That's useful for crafting teal level equipment. I think this might be the entrance to it, right? Oh, there's a Kunanun. There it is. Signs of a struggle outside the entrance.
Can the words of Ergithon be trusted?
Deed
If so,
bestowed.
a messenger from Dublin must be somewhere in the depths of Logo.
You know what? I'm going to go out of this. I can't get out of this. I'm going to quit this instance, though, because we're running out of time if we're going to do... Nah, let's do it. We'll try. We'll see. Oh, wow. Kurgrim. Oh, I do have inspiration. That's nice. Otherwise, how am I going to be dealing with, multiple critters with 8,000 hit points? Oh, I just made him run away. Or I just killed him. You found the remains of a luckless unfortunate. Where are said remains? Maybe down here? Dancing lights. A deed for killing those little glowing lights. Which, of course, I'm not going to kill enough of them to ever accomplish anything. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. It's not an actual other path. Oh, whites. Hey, whites. Anybody down here named Barry? Hey, Frodo. I just want to spend more time with you. Oh, wow. Mini lights. Now I'm thinking of that classic Star Trek moment. I forget now. I can't remember how many lights there actually were. You found a gap in the wooden bridge. You could jump down to the lower passage. Well, then I shall. There are 5 lights. Not yet. One shot. Who are you? I need to see the Brennan at Lanuk. This great beast attacked me as I was passing the entrance to this cave, and I could not get away. Thank you for passing by not so far from habitation. I bring a message from Lou Brennan of Tur Morva. He urges Gleen Brennan not to believe the lies of the wizard Saruman. The wizard has sent agents to the Brennan to try and buy his loyalty. He is worried that other clans may have accepted these offers. The Ukluth have not done so. Ah, good fortune. You must bring me to Lanuk at once. All right, let's go. Well, I ended up not defeating the Kunanoon, so we'll remove that. Let's go talk to Glenn Brennan here. So Brennan is obviously like their title for a chieftain, right? Because there was the other Brennan. I'm still in a next-gen walkthrough with my son, and we've not gotten to that episode yet, but man, that is such a good one.
This news gives me hope. We have some allies still.
Anirin has given me the message from Lou Brennan of Tur Morva. It fills me with joy, for it means the Ukluth do not stand alone against the wizard Saruman. We have some few allies still, and that gives me hope.
My Brehur and Brehuris will decide what must be done.
They have heard the messenger's words. Speak with them and hear what they have to say. They will wish to know the events that led you to find this stray messenger as well. So leave nothing out. They will decide, too, what course of action to recommend to your people. Once you have heard my Brehur and Brehurs, bring their advice to your leader, Halbrad. He and I have spoken already on this, and their council will complete the argument. All right.
I spoke against the promises of Saruman for many days.
That was the course of wisdom. How few of the clans listened to my advice? Too few. But Anirin brings us hope from Dunland. He will return to Tur Morva with word that Lanuk also stands against Saruman. Let that strengthen our cousin's resolve.
Are all Devonians
So trusting. How do you know this man Ergothorn is a friend? You know nothing about him beyond what he wishes to tell you, and that not even in person. I say he, but you know not even that. Ergothorn could be a woman, and that could be the least of her deceptions. It matters not to me that the messenger Anirin was found where Ergothorn said he would be. One truth is nothing.
If Tur Morva still stands against the wizard, we must remain strong as well.
That's right. It is good to know that some of our brothers in Dunland have not believed the promises of Saruman. We are not without friends, as was my worry.
The road through Dunland will not be safe for you, no matter the words of Anirin.
It is good that Lou Brennan still stands against the wizard Saruman, but there are other clans in Dunland that do not have leaders as strong, and for them the promises of the wizard may be hard to refuse. Tell your people to be wary on the road south. That's not... Halberad must be still outside. I understand the concerns of the Brehur and Brehuris.
We cannot let our caution
Nope.
wane.
The business with Ergothorn's letter drove from my mind the request of the Dunlending girl. Go now to Nona and tell her I cannot allow her to travel. She is here in Lanuk, and here she will stay.
Your leader, Halbarad, does not know what he says.
Too dangerous. He is a fool if he thinks I cannot stand with the best man in his company. A fool, then. We will see who has the greater glory when the tally of battle is finished. It will be Nona of the Ukluth, sister to Wadu Gwibberslayer.
All men are fools.
All right, so we need to go find Dad and talk to him. Okay, so this is still part of the epic, so we're not going to go back in there. Did you notice though the guy talking to him was an emissary of Saruman? It's a gray ring though because it's a quest that's under level. But remember, we saw the dad out here where the sword was, so we're going to talk to him real fast. What do you have to say to me, Devodiad? He listens impatiently as you recount Nona's words. You cannot speak to me of this matter. and neither can my daughter. Only one language we will speak, the language of battle. You and I will fight hostile Dunlendings of other clans, Devodiad, and we will measure which of us has the authority to judge the other. Do not return until you have slain many of our enemies. All right. Defeat hostile Dunlendings. All right, so we're not going to go. We're gonna call it for now. Actually, let's go ahead and bring the amulet fragment to Mincham and turn that in, because we might pick up some more. Yep.
Our hope lies in secrecy, but we find these lands and have
So collect the second half of a broken amulet.
We must seek to pass beneath them unnoticed.
So that's... So Halflings in the Hills is still, even though it's a great quest, we want to do it because it's cool to find out. Remnants of the Past is defeating the... no, that's... Oh, defeating whites. And then Chapter 6 for Wadu is those blue areas. And then the Hermit. Didn't catch where that is. Oh, not too far from here. So let's go ahead and wrap it up for now, after I kill that Kunanunu standing there too close. Oh, I should probably kill another one. Because look at how close I am to level 73. Oh, but I'd have to turn a quest in. There's no way. I need 6,200 XP, and I just got, well, not very many. I'm not going to get very many for killing green critters. All right, so let's call it for now, and then that way we'll actually take a look at the Stone of Erech. All right, let me switch back to this screen here. All right. Let's take a look at just one more quest. All right, let me pull up my episode on the Stone of Erech. That would have been... Season 7, I think. Paths of the Dead, probably, or Passing of the Grey Company, I should say. Aha! I must have answered a question about this recently, because the document actually opens to bullet point 23, which was in episode 272 with me and Dawn. All right, so not surprisingly, the Hill of Erech, the surrounding fields, terrifying to the residents. The stone's round like a globe, so we know it's not an obelisk or a pillar or anything like that. It's described as round like a globe. Let me actually get to that passage. There we go. Here's the actual text. Long had the terror of the dead lain upon that hill and upon the empty fields about it, for upon the top stood a black stone, round as a great globe, the height of a man, though its half was buried in the ground. And that's the challenge. Is it the height of a man, even though half of it's buried in the ground? That is, it's as tall as a man while in the ground? Or do they mean it's the height of a man, but half of it was in the ground? So... unearthly it looked, as though it had fallen from the sky, as some believed, but those who remembered still the lore of Westerness told that it had been brought out of the ruin of Numenor and there set by Isildur at his landing. So 12 feet in diameter, if it's the way it says the height of a man, though its half was buried, suggests that it's 6 foot tall outside of the ground. So that is, even with its half buried, it's still as tall as a man. So that means it's 12 feet in diameter, or maybe 14, but I went with 12 for the math. Rock weighs on average anywhere from 165 pounds per cubic foot, but on average, but it ranges anywhere from 143 to 186 pounds per cubic foot. If you've got a sphere with a diameter of 12 feet, you're talking about a rock that has 288 cubic feet. So that is somewhere between 41,000 to 54,000 pounds. So it's between 21 and 27 US tons, 18 and a half to 24 imperial tons. When you shrink it down to a 6-foot diameter as opposed to a 6-foot radius, it ends up weighing about 6,000 pounds. But yeah, if it was 12-foot diameter, that is half the height of a man sticking out of the ground, we're talking about 25 tons. That's a lot of mass. Let's see what else about the stone. What were some other questions about the stone that were in there? Let's see. Tons versus tons, yes. It is wild that for some measurements we're the same, but that like tons are not the same. And then of course you also use like stone, which is not a measurement we use. But yeah, let's see. If I go to, I want to see, because I know there's stuff in the drafts. Yeah, not really. There's not a lot. There's a lot on the Oath Breakers. There's some really cool stuff about how they, wanted to be free. They literally said to fulfill our oath and have peace, right, is in the text. But in an earlier draft, we get the fact that at times the shadow men will gather there, thronging about the ruined wall. There was a wall around the stone, and whispering. And it is said they cry, "We are come," and they wish to fulfill the broken oath and be at rest. Every night they call out, "We are come," and they want to fulfill their oath. That's only in a draft, though. So, yeah, it's awfully heavy. I mean, that's the thing. Let me see. Like, I don't know how much. Well, you think about like these ships that carried, 30 guns, 30 cannons, 60 cannons are very heavy. If you add a whole bunch of those and you're still, um, able to float, um, like could a galleon carry, let's take a look. So back in the day, so a galleon typically held, small ones were 1 to 400 tons. Huge ones would exceed 1,000 tons, but typical galleons are in the 500 to 800 ton range. So certainly 25 tons out of that, right? So 5% of your carrying of your weight capacity. So yeah, it's reasonable. It's feasible. If you're talking about something the size of a Spanish galleon, for instance. Stones, 14 pounds. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's only for people. Yeah, the kilograms. I don't know. I'd have to figure out do the math on that. But it also depends on the kind of stone, because like I said, I calculate it based on the average, which is 165 pounds per cubic foot. And then from there, it's just a math formula with a 12-foot sphere. But the problem is that stone can weigh anywhere from about 143 pounds in a cubic foot to 186 pounds in a cubic foot. And that's going to make a difference. That extra 43 pounds per cubic foot makes a difference when you're talking about a stone that has almost 300 cubic feet in it. Very, very big stone. You ended early to do the maths. Yeah, well, actually, I ended early to reference the maths because I had thankfully already done them in terms of the calculations. But that's of a 12-foot sphere, right? If we're talking about Numenorian man height, right? So if we're talking about measuring the cubic feet of a sphere, so I need to get to the calculation. So if we end up saying it has a radius of 7 feet, right? Because it's a Numenorian man. Now you're talking about almost 1,500 cubic feet. No, that can't be right. Yeah, radius of 7 feet. So diameter 14 feet. Wow. No, that's not right. Hold on a minute. I got my math wrong. I wonder if I was only looking at a hemisphere. No? Do a sphere volume calculator. I might be looking at the wrong measurements. I did it then, so I'm pretty confident in my old numbers. I'm not confident in my current numbers. Calculates first sphere. There we go. Radius R is 7 instead of 6. We'll call it feet. And calculate. So if it's 6, then we get... Yeah, that's where I got. Volume. Oh, it's not 288 cubic feet. It's 288 pi cubic feet. Oh, so it's even bigger than that. Okay, so I didn't do the math correctly then. So if we do a radius of 14, not 14, a radius of 7, which is diameter of 14, it's going to be a volume. Oh, no, that's in terms of pi. My bad. Hold on. Yeah, the 6'1" is actually a lot bigger than that. My math was wrong in that episode. Volume is 905 cubic feet on a 6-foot radius. On a 7-foot radius, it's 1,400 cubic feet. So on average, that's going to be, holy smokes, folks. I did some bad math in that episode and nobody called me on it. So if it is Numenorian man high, 7 feet out of the ground, we're talking about 119 tons. Don't use Thingol's height. And even Elendil's height would be too much. Because remember, this is current times. They're saying it's half the height of a man, or it's the height of a man, half on the ground. But yeah, either way is big, is really big. And I'm going to have to do an episode on correcting that. Oh, man, excuse me. I got the 288 must have been, I don't know. I'll have to look and see how I made that mistake. But fun stuff. Either way, it's massive. At its smallest, if it's a 6-foot diameter, and it's the height of a regular man, but half of it's still in the ground, then we're talking about 6,000 pounds. But it could be 14 feet in diameter, in which case we're talking about 230,000 pounds. It's gigantic. All right. That was fun. Any other questions before yeah, it's going to really niggle at me, Katie. You're absolutely right about that. What's wild is, given how I get feedback all the time, right? When I make a mistake, I am informed about it. And the fact that that's been out there for 3 years and it was wrong. Oh, man. Yeah, I need to drop a couple of stones too, man. I don't know. You get older, it's hard to lose it. All right, got one more chat in here. Tempted to ask me about the interactions between Isildur and Riok and the battle afterwards in terms of character and the lore. Let's take a look here. Let me pull that up again, because if we go to the Curse of Isildur, so we're looking at 269 and 272. No, Turofanto, the wooden whale, would have long been gone. I mean, that's you're talking about a boat 2,000 years before before the downfall of Numenor. I think the faithful would have built their own ships. Let me take a look real quick at the oath. I wonder if we did that in a P5. I know we did some deep looks into. Let me pull up real quick Oathbreaker. And of course, that shows up in a gazillion of my notes, so I don't know. Mustard of Rohan, no. Passing the Grey Company, maybe. Baldur's Bones. Nope, that's the episode where we talk about the stone. Like what? What am I like in real life? A real Ship of Theseus situation, yeah. Could be. P5. Malbeth the Seer. Sorry for this as I'm looking, trying to see if I've got. I'll have to find it. So, the thing is that in terms of answering your question, Katie, about the interactions between Isildur and King Riok, who of course in the book is not named, right? We don't know what the name is of the King of the Mountains, but Isildur would not have had the power on his own to curse them to everlasting life, right? To deny them the gift of Iluvatar. The Valar themselves can't even do that. I think what would have happened is that when they took the oath, they would have known that they were swearing that oath, with Iluvatar as the enforcer of that oath. If there's anything that that he can do to enforce that oath, or for punishment for failing to honor that oath. And that's he's the only one who has the power to do that. Yeah. Riok is headcanon. Sure, I have no problem with that. I mean, that's a good name. Let me see. I'm looking here real quick. Think about Elendil. Excuse Eric's friends made fun of him in school. Eric, yeah. I still want to know I'm like what in real life. Maybe you mentioned that later because I'm still catching up. Being a chunky stone. That's just yeah. I think it would survive meeting. Shaped him like that. Oh, Lloyd being super tall. Yeah. I thought you meant, yeah. Luckily, he's not 8'6". That's good to know. Good heavens, you guys fawning all over him. Well, now I know you're not talking about me. He's got that milk chocolate voice, too. Riok is headcanon. I agree. They couldn't have found a better Elendil. I agree. He's a super nice guy, too. I really like him. Mostly because I know he listens to the Prancing Pony podcast. Theo for sure. Oktar. Oh, I'm looking forward to doing doing that in Unfinished Tales. We're going to be talking about the Disaster of the Gladden Fields. That won't be until May. I'll be doing that chapter and the Druidine chapter with Don Marshall, where I'll be doing Hunt for the Ring with Matt. That's a longer chapter. I think 4 or 5 episodes there. But Disaster of the Gladden Fields should be a good one. I've always liked that story, and knowing about Oktar, as much about him as we can. Yeah, no, I figured eventually, when I realized how nicely Katie was speaking about whoever this person was, I realized it wasn't me. No, I don't think she would say I have a milk chocolate voice. So. And I don't know that I want one, though. I will say, interestingly, I would have in college when we had choral union, which was, so I was in the men's choir, male chorale. There was a men's choir, a women's choir, and there was a mixed choir that was more like for the music majors. And 2 times during the year, we would do something called choral union, where we'd all come together and do a big piece. So at Christmas, it was always Handel's Messiah. Fantastic to do. I mean, glorious piece of music. To think that Handel wrote that in like a month is insane. So anyway, it was right after lunch. It was like 1:00, Tuesday, Thursdays, or one Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. I don't remember. But I would always have chocolate milk at lunch because it actually helped make my voice more gravelly, and I would get to hit those low notes a little better. So I had a chocolate milk voice, which is different than a milk chocolate voice. I just say, I speak nicely about you sometimes. Oh, man. Got a reel from a friend this week, one of Don's. Jerry, you heard of this guy, Don Marshall? Love it. Don's a great guy. Yeah, he's hardcore, man. He's definitely he knows his stuff. I just hope he still has a job after this season. I mean, we know season 3 is in the book, so that at least is going to happen. But who knows? No, they'll keep going because in for a penny, in for a pound, right? I mean, they've spent so much money, they can't not finish it. Yeah, I think they do. I think there's actually a penalty that they have to pay. So there's no point. Spend the money and just produce the show. Well, now I'm done with the chat or with the stream, and I've looked up the Isildur thing. We've got about 10 minutes left before I want to wrap it up. So again, as usual, any questions, any commentary, any cool things you're looking forward to getting for Christmas, Tolkien related. I don't know, Katie. It might be to the estate. It probably is because it was the estate that they purchased the rights from, because the existing rights were film rights. TV rights had remained with the estate. So that's what they bought. Smooth as a barrow wide. A barrow right. What's a barrow right? Guy that creates barrows? Like a shipwright? Anyway. Hey, Frodo. I need to use my voice buttons, but I don't remember which one was which. And I didn't want to do
Hey, Frodo, as the barrow white.
No, I think that is the barrow white. Frodo. This is power. Perhaps I should record the podcast in this voice. No, I won't do that.
There's this one.
That's too over the top.
What about this one? That's good. See, that's a little more Glaurung. That's a little more, Hail, Nienor, daughter of Urin. I give thee joy that thou hast found thy brother at last.
All right. That was fun. That was fun. Oh, man. Gonna be screaming at the fruit stealing and the oath of Elendil. Alan and the Chipmunks. Well, I am glad that your dad's visiting Captain Ferendor. That's good. Yeah, I think I'm looking more forward to the new year than I am even Christmas. My natural Glaurung. If you go back to season 1, that wasn't natural. That was me doing a little bit of voice editing. That took me so much time. Oh my goodness. Because I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to editing. So I would go through, I marked those little passages where I did Glaurung. I think I also did effects for Ungoliant, I think. But yeah, I really enjoy the villain voices. They're so much fun. Turin and Nienor find your sense of humor disturbing. You know what? A lot of people find my sense of humor disturbing, so they're not alone. They're not alone. Oh, man. He's so petty. And now I'm thinking Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. 'Cause I'm free. Free falling. There we go. There's my karaoke song for the moot. No, it hangs out too high, too long for me to do that. Yeah, thankfully I don't have to do that editing stuff anymore. if I really want a sound effect, I just tell Jordan. So like when we did Treebeard, he's the one who actually approached us and said, hey, what about, not just changing pitch and stuff, what about adding that creaking wood sound? I'm like, do it, man. That sounds great. Ale. Ale's such a terrible, terrible guy. But yeah, good joke, actually. Yep. For a little while, at least, he was free falling. Do you remember the name of the thing he was thrown over, Katie? There's your trivia question for the day. Come on. Do I think Mandos forced Feanor to watch the Tapestry of Glad? Mandos. Hey, Feanor, it's been a while since we've talked. I have something to show you. Look at this video on X I just found. Scroll. Hey, look. Love it. Katie, the answer is Karagdur. I did it as a word nerdery, I think, on Wednesday. Yeah. There it is. Karagdur. Good job. The lag. So you typed it in before I gave you the answer. I'll give you credit on that. Yeah. No, I believe you. I know you got it. Good job. All right. Well, so just as a reminder, for those of you who only can join on Saturdays, and I know that for a lot of you in Europe and in England, that is the case, we will not have a PPP Plays next Saturday because I'll be a little busy at the Moot. We will have one next Tuesday, the 16th. In fact, there's a couple of things that day. For those of you who support the PPP on Patreon, we are doing a hangout with James and I at 11 a.m. Pacific, followed by a live recording of our second episode on Tal Elmar. And that's 11 a.m. and then 12 noon Pacific. And then PPP Plays at 6 p.m. Pacific. After that is the Moot. So we won't meet on the 20th, but then I'll be back for the 23rd. And I don't anticipate missing again for a little while, probably till mid-January. So I think we'll have lots to do. So that'll be a lot of fun. I will spend some of that time over Christmas thinking about what I can do differently so that it doesn't just turn into a LotRO stream. Not that LotRO is a bad thing. I love LotRO. I'm having a lot of fun, but I definitely want to do some more stuff. So the Word Nerd Wednesdays. Yeah. Don't go off alone and be angry. That's so true. Thank you, Faye Rendor. I appreciate that. We're going to need all the luck, right? Well, not all the luck. Katie's great. So, we don't need a lot of luck, but we need some. Can't remember what I recorded for because also, Alan, hey, Katie, what was that thing? Yeah. Definitely tabletop stuff. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And for those of you who if those of you who are Saturday only, I won't see you again until after Christmas. So Merry Christmas. We'll see you then. Bye. Oh, I almost ended the stream instead of doing the usual closing. Sorry about that.